Hey guys, Mauro here. A couple of weeks ago, I went to see 14, I think it was 14 and under juniors tournament. And I was watching this. I think this kid was, I believe, he wasn't seeded, but he was a pretty decent player. And he was playing, he had too much points. He had too much points in the match. And then the first one thing I noticed is that he will almost every point he will turn and look at his dad. And the other thing that got my attention is that many times, whether he will even in the points that he will win, he will turn and look at his dad, and his dad's posture and the body language was showing that he was not happy with the kid playing. But I'm talking about like really bad, showing him like pretty much, I don't know what kind of I don't know what were the ideas or the feelings, or what the dad had in his head, thinking that he was gonna help his kid, behaving like that. But the way the dad will talk to him, and the way and his body language, you could tell that every point was a torture for the poor kid, and he was just terrified, especially when he will lose a point and look at his dad, and he knew that the reprimand was coming. And the dad was letting him know, vocally, that he was not happy with the kid playing like that. So, long story short, the kid had too much points. The first match point, match point, for those of you that you don't know in tennis terms, match point is just 1 point away from winning the match, from winning. So the first match point, the kid pretty much just pushed the ball back and he lost the point. And the dad, I mean, you could hear the dad, kind of grunting and not being happy. He made it very clear that he was not happy with the kid losing that first match point. And he was telling him, he was letting him know with a few words, pretty much telling the kid that he was a wimp and stuff like that. He was horrible. Second match point comes, and the kid pretty much just, do the same. He didn't go for the point, no courage, just pretty much hitting the ball back, expecting that the other kid will miss it. And the other kid ended up missing the shot, and the match was over. But the truth is that the kid that won didn't do nothing to win that match point. So one thing that I wanted to talk about it, because the way I see parents handling their kids, whether they're athletes or not, it's something that has gotten my attention. And I mean, of course, it's very noticeable in the tournaments when you see those kids playing. But it's also noticeable. I haven't even seen parents that come to my lessons, and the way they talk to their kids when they take in the lesson, and I had to tell and say, you know what, when I'm giving the lesson to the kid, please just refrain, just don't talk to him. Because the way what you're doing is you're not helping him. I want him to be focused on me, so we can work on whatever we need to do. Okay, but anyways, one thing that came to my mind is this. Nowadays, many of the big companies, many of the big corporations, they have problems. How 80% of the people are not happy in their jobs nowadays. They just don't feel like they belong in their jobs. They don't feel like the companies, they really care for their employees. It seems like nowadays companies, what they want profit. They want you to make money for them. So what they do is they take care more of the result, and they really don't take care of their employees. They really don't pay attention to them. So what happens is the employees, they really feel like, what, if things don't go well, it doesn't matter if I've been working for these guys for 10 or 15 or 20 years. Things don't go well, and we don't and they don't get the revenues or profit they want. They can very well, and it has happened, people that have been working for a company for more than 20 years, and the company, they're not happy with the results in 1 year, and their hand on their pockets, they go, you know what, you're fired, thank you very much, see you later. Just like that. No, it seems like in many places nowadays, I will have to say, it's a very general thing. That's why there is so much detachment from employees to their companies. They're not happy the way they're being treated. They're more concerned about feeling like, okay, I gotta do my job the best, the best way I can, but they're more concerned about keeping the company happy. They're more concerned about the fear that they have of being fired and surviving than actually working for the company, doing well for the company, and treating the customer well, so the customer is happy, and the employer will be happy, the employee will be happy, and the employer will be happy. What happens nowadays is just directly to the results. We just care about the customer, but the truth is that the leaders in the company, they never had contact with the customers. So it's employees that they do have the contact with the employer, with the buyers, clients. So, but the leaders, they don't have that connection with employees. The employees never feel like they are taken care of, like they belong. They're more concerned about the fear that they have of the employer. So, of course, that reflects on the revenue and the profit of the company. An unhappy employee is not going to bring you profit. A happy employee is going to bring you profit, and it's going to make the company much better. So the client is happy, the employee is happy, and the leader is happy. And it's the same thing that happens when you have your kid. If your kid, if he's an athlete or not, whether he's an athlete or not, if you're putting too much pressure on your kid, if you're the kind of parent that puts a lot of pressure on the result, oh, he's not winning, he's not doing well, and he's not bouncing around, and he just whatever. The only thing that you're gonna do is he's not feeling your love, he's not feeling supported, he's more fearful of you than feeling your support. He's not going to respond. When you have that kind of relationship with your kids, when you're putting too much pressure on them to see results, to see how they're doing, instead of focusing on saying, you know what, whatever happens, I'm going to support you, I'm here for you, whatever you need, but you gotta commit. The only thing I'm asking from you is give me your 100% effort. That's all that's all I'm asking for. And the kid, and you gotta make it verbal, and you gotta show it over and over and say, you know what, go out there and do your best. If you don't win, it's gonna be fine. As well as I know that you did your best and you ran and you tried, and you work hard and you fought. But you gotta promise me that you're gonna put everything you got, and you got my 100 total support. Because otherwise, the only thing that happens is the kid, like the kid in this match, he knew that every time he will lose a point, his dad was just getting really pissed, and he's not feeling the love, and if he's not feeling the love, if he doesn't feel supported, if he doesn't feel in a safe place, he's not gonna be able to perform at his highest level. So that's one thing that is very. I just wanted to talk to you about it, because the way I see enterprises, companies are being managed today is the same. Is very much the same thing that you have to do for with your kids. What they need to fix on the companies is the same thing that a lot of parents need to fix with their kids. He has to feel the love first. He has to feel the support. He has to feel that you are there for you no matter what. And you got to be strict with him and say, okay, you know what, I'll be there for you. But the least that you can do, and the least that I expect, is that you're going to put everything you got out there. And believe me, you do that, and your kid will respond to you, and he will be more willing to fight, more willing to train, more willing to do whatever needs to be done, whether he's a student, whether he's an athlete or anything. If he doesn't feel that, he's gonna be more worried about you being pissed off if he messes up. And that, believe me, that's not gonna bring him to. That is not gonna give him results. So that's one thing that you gotta pay attention. And he's gotta be consistently having contact with him and talking about it. Because for a kid, their world is very different to the way we see it as adults, guys. It's totally different, and they need to hear it consistently from us, and they need to feel it, and they need to see it. And we have to ask him, and we have to tell him to commit to this very same thing that we ask for, which is the effort. But be careful. If you're being the kind of guy that is putting too much pressure on your kid, and you think that he's going to understand like that, the only thing that's going to happen is that by the time he turns 18 and he can go to college, he say, I'm the hell out of this place. I cannot wait. And it happens. It happens a lot, guys. So pay attention to that. You wanna pay attention to the relationship with your kids and the way you guys are working together. Okay. Well, guys, just wanted to let you talk to you about it. And well, I'll see you next time. Thank you.